Hello, good people. My name is Albanas, and today I want to talk about politics. Yes, I want to talk about politics because we take it for granted every time, and we don't care. We're so ignorant. For those asking, who am I speaking for? I'm speaking on behalf of myself because I cannot speak on behalf of myself. I cannot speak on behalf of anybody. Number two, I'm speaking to represent my views and my opinion because I believe the political class in this country has taken us too low. They have taken us for granted. They take us for fool, and they think that the 50 million plus Kenyans don't have a mind to think. The BBI nonsense is here with us, and I believe no Kenyan understand what is happening, and those who understand are those who are ready to confuse you and to see where they benefit. Um, for those who doubt my position or who am I am a qualified and a professional teacher. I teach maths and physics. I interact with the students, and I deal with the youth. And therefore, I'm speaking on behalf of the youth. I'm speaking on behalf of the employed because I'm one of the employees of this country. I'm speaking on behalf of those people who struggle to make just a living. Yes, just a living. We just a few days ago, the social media, everybody was hungry about the issues which were raised by one of our artists, King Kaka, Wajinga Nyinyi song. The hashtag ran for almost 2 weeks. After that, when I go to Twitter, the only thing I say every day is if William Ruto is not trending, then Raila is. If Raila is not, then Uhuru is. If Uhuru is not, then mention another kingpin. You call them kingpin. I don't know what that means. What is the meaning of this kingpin? Kingpin for what? Simply call them tribal kings because they represent your tribe. Your tribe in the sense that they use your tribe to get what they want for their families. But you don't understand anyway because we are so ignorant for the reality. We are ignorant in the sense that we Kenyans don't take elections seriously. Every election time, we always have an opportunity to make the right choice. But what happens? We only align ourselves to two groupings. Yes, the big horses, and forget about good leaders. And the big horses are always determined by our tribal kingpins. These guys have always been there. They just rearrange themselves again, and then they come again. Same monkeys in different forests. But then we still believe in them and think that this is the best team every day, every time, every year we go for election. Now, what is the problem with us? The problem with us as a country is the fact that we are so ignorant for the reality. Yes, we choose to be ignorant. We choose to assume nothing is happening. What makes me hungry is not the fact that we fought like that. What makes me hungry, I said, is not is not the voting pattern. What makes me hungry is the fact that we have millions, we have thousands of people in this particular country who claim to have gone to school. My problem is, why did you waste your school fees? Because everybody and all those people went to school. When you go to argue politically, they want to align themselves to the grouping of where the tribe belongs. Look at this. If all the people who claim to have gone to school and who claim to use their mind properly can shelve their interest and devote themselves to changing this country, and especially the youth. And when I'm discussing about the youth here, I'm talking about anybody. Anybody who is below 40 years, you are the person who is supposed to do something to make sure that this country is run well and the affairs of this country are running the way they're supposed to be running. But we choose to align ourselves to the groupings, those particular groupings whereby we benefit. And the funny thing, and what I've noticed with most of the youth and mostly those who are vocal, I don't choose to be one. I don't choose to be vocal. I choose to be real. I choose to act. I choose to change policies. I choose not to be a manager, but to be a leader. I choose that because it's worth it. I choose that because it's what we're supposed to do as people. Looking at the scenario on the ground, it's not that the youth have not been given opportunities. We have youth leadership in the parliament. We look at Babowino, look at this gentleman from Meru, Igembe South, Paul. The first thing, like, for instance, when Paul got to parliament, the first gift he was given by Uhuru Kenyatta was a Prado. That simply means I'm buying you so that you speak what I request, you do what I want. And then instead of going to raise our issues in the parliament, that these guys are compromised. Look at Mohammed Hadi. We believed in you. You are that guy who looked so different, so unique. But I don't see anything you're doing nowadays. The only thing you have and you're so focused on is fighting joint cost instead of articulating the issues of the Nyali people. Simply because in Kenya, it's about what you get and what you earn. Is not about what your people need. You don't present ideologies. You present your stomachs. And I'm so fed up. I'm so fed up for the fact that we, the youth, and I blame the youth 100%. You can be ignorant if you want. You can choose not to listen. You can choose to ignore me. But I want to be clear here. 20 years from today, we are going to be blamed more than anybody else in life for simply one reason, for failing to stand for what belongs to us, for failure to ask why things are running the way they are running. The economy is bad. Let's not lie to ourselves. Looking at our education system, being a teacher, I'm on the ground. And I can tell you for sure that the implementation of the CBC is total nonsense. Total nonsense. This is, you're playing games with our kids. You're playing games with the kids of human. This is the young nation. The young nation is being played, what you call try and error in science. Yes, a try and error is being done on our kids. When Sosion raised these issues, it could not be supported by anybody. Reason being, he is from the other side of the political class, where the implementation doesn't come from. Many guys have raised issues about this. Nobody listens. Why? Because we want to leave a legacy of new curriculum, which has no strength. You talked about laptops, you talked about infrastructure. Our schools, some of the many schools don't have resources. The schools we teach, we are understaffed. We teach us the highest workload possible. The classes are overcrowded. Then you're still talking about new CBC, which requires more capital, and you cannot be able to manage 844. This is total fallacy. And I believe as a person that it's time we need to become real with ourselves and do what is supposed to be done. And for us to be able to do that, what should be done, we need to ask ourselves questions as youth. Leave these politicians. They will come with the same hypothetical knowledge and hypothetical questions and procedures they keep telling us every 5 years. It's time to question why things happen the way they happen. At the moment we are able to do that, this is going to be a country we wish to have. Miguna is right. And you're going to understand that one day, when we will all be suffering. I'm waiting for that day, simply because ignorance is the highest level or the highest determination of a failure. And I have learned one thing in my life, that the greatest qualification for failure is ignorance. The conscience is clear, the mind is clear, but you refuse simply because you support a particular grouping of political class. Things will change. Nothing is permanent. Nothing. I might not have any power. I might not be able to have a group to articulate these issues. But I believe nothing is permanent. And this Kenya will change. We will change it. We are ready. I am.